Hi everybody, Beanmeister22 here. Today we're going to make Scotch eggs. Now I'm going to give you a quick list of the ingredients, and I'll also put them in the comment section of the video in case you can't understand what the hell I'm talking about, or if I miss something. Alright, so you're going to need sausage, you're going to need eggs, you're going to need breadcrumbs or croutons. I used to buy the flavored croutons and crumble them up for, a zesty breading. But today I'm going to use the Progresso Italian-style breadcrumbs, because it's convenience. You're going to need some flour, because you got to put just a dash of flour on this. And something else that you need, but I can't find mine, I brought it down to work when I made these the other day, is a little brush. The brush for brushing the egg on. And, man, I can't find that brush. And I'm not going to use those disposable paintbrush things, those little 1-inch wooden handle with a bristle paintbrush that you buy at the hardware store. They also have in the cooking section, and they say, hey, it's for cooking. Yeah, I don't believe it is for cooking. You have to hard boil your eggs first. So with this recipe, we're only going to make 4 of these Scotch eggs. So you need to hard boil 4 eggs. That's where the egg cookers come in handy. You need 1 raw egg. So you need 4 hard-boiled eggs. You need 1 raw egg. You need 2 pounds of sausage. Now I prefer a beef sausage, but let me tell you something. The sausage levels at the local Kroger store have been low-level sausage for a while. Unless you're going to get the pre-cooked Jimmy Dean sausage, which I like, but it's not for cooking, right? I normally use the Jimmy Dean sausage in a tube, and all they had in this, tube was the Kroger brand, and it says hot or spicy, and I've made it several times now using that sausage. That's all they've had on the shelf, and I've been really impressed. It hasn't been overly spicy, but it gives it a little extra zest. So, even in the future, I'm going to use this same sausage in the future until there's low-level Kroger sausage. One of the mistakes that you make when you're doing this is it's underestimating the amount of sausage you need. So you take the sausage and you squish it out like a patty in your hand. You're squishing it out. You take the hard-boiled egg, you put it in the middle, and then you wrap that sausage all around to like a meatball. So you're making a meatball with a hard-boiled egg in the center. Some people do medium-boiled eggs. You don't want to go soft-boiled eggs. Medium-boiled egg or hard-boiled egg is perfectly fine. So then you have that ball, and we're going to make 4 of them. So we made 4 of these balls of sausage with a hard-boiled egg in there. Now this is where it gets kind of different. I've talked to other people. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to lightly dust it with flour, and then that 1 egg you had, that raw egg, you whip that up, you beat that up, and then you paint it on the outside over the flour. In this case, without a paintbrush, kind of put some on with a fork, and eventually I just said, screw it, and took it, rolled it around in the thing. You want to get a coating of egg on there, because that coating of egg is what your breadcrumbs are going to adhere to. Dust it with flour, roll it in the egg, then roll it in the breadcrumbs. Bam! Do that 4 times. And I did mention about underestimating the amount of sausage you need, because if you're using a larger egg, you're going to need more sausage. And what do you do with the extra sausage? We make little sausage meatballs out of them, hit them with flour, dip them in the egg, roll them in the breadcrumbs, and we cook them in the same pan. You can pan fry this or you can deep fry it. But I like to bake it in the oven. It's less greasy. I don't care about the health benefits of it. It's less greasy and it's just easier. If you pan fry it, you're just going to make a big old mess splattering oil around, and I don't want to put these in the deep fryer. And then we're going to roll it around, rolling it around. So now that we've put our uncooked Scotch eggs in the pan with the meatballs, how are we going to cook it? I like to cook it at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. But here's the deal. Here in America, we have these Energy Star appliances, which horrible. They take forever to heat up. I mean, 15, 20 minutes. The one down at work takes 23 minutes to heat up. It's horrible. My new Kenmore takes about 15 minutes to heat up. Remember the old ones? You put it to preheat, kicks on the broiler, kicks on everything. In 5 minutes, you're up at 450 degrees. You know, everything's smoking. It ain't that way no more. With those older ones, you could probably put this in during the preheat because it's just going to get extra cooked. Might even get burnt, right? Here, now with these modern ones, if you do that, you're going to pull it out and it's still going to be raw. Just horrible. 20 minutes at 400 degrees. Well, we have a fairly new oven down at work, and that one, man, we started at 375, ended up at 425, and it took us like 29 minutes. You know, and every time you open the oven to see if it's ready, all the heat goes, just horrible. Because these Energy Star ovens, they can't recover quickly enough that heat you're losing. So, like I said, ovens vary, but in my oven, 20 minutes at 400 degrees. And just to be sure, I know, pull it out a little bit early. You cut one in half, you can see if your sausage is all the way cooked. Your sausage needs to be all the way cooked. My oven's dialed in. Like I said, for that time, 400 degrees is perfect. Some people like to cook it at a lower temperature, at 375 or 350. It's going to take longer. But you need to have the sausage all the way cooked. Sometimes you can peek in there and you can say, I can see the sausage ain't all the way cooked, especially if it splits off the egg a little bit, like one of ours did here. A little disappointing, but it's fine because you serve these cut in half. You don't serve these as a ball. Okay, so we got them out now. Oh, man, they smell great. Checked them, cooked all the way through. This is great. So how are we going to serve them? I like to serve them with lettuce and tomato. I guess it's the traditional way. And I put mustard on the side, another kind of tradition. Some people use the Grey Poupon. Some people even use ranch dressing. I'm not a big ranch person, but it might be okay. And if you're not a tomato person, well, you can put something else. I also put a dill pickle spear, a piece of pickle with it. And I actually even bought pickle, and I forgot about putting them there, but it doesn't matter. The point of eating tomato with it, I like a firm tomato, like a Roma tomato or some firmer tomato that is not all soupy and goopy inside. Because the flavor of the tomato, when you eat it with this, it just expands the flavor of the sausage and the egg. You don't have to be so bold as to put a little piece of tomato on top of this as you're eating it. You could. I mean, that tastes good. You can, eat it, take a bite of this, take a bite of the tomato and everything, It's more than just a palate cleanser. It is a palate enhancer. Really, really good. Simple to cook. Not a lot of ingredients. So if you're low carbing it, you can probably do this without the breadcrumbs. You can use, just a little bit of breadcrumbs. Maybe use that old thing where you take the pork rinds and you break them up and then use that for the outside batter. So if you're low carbing it, this is pretty good. You got sausage, egg, and a little bit of breading. But these are just as good cold or room temperature as they are fresh out of the oven. That's the amazing benefit of this. I'm not a big sausage person. I've also made these, the Scotch eggs here, I have made these with ground beef, and I actually prefer them with ground beef. Certainly not the traditional way to do it, but And really, if you do the open cup style with the ground beef and the cracked egg inside, that's really good too. Serve that with some hash browns. Oh, really good. All right, so we did Scotch eggs today. Very simple. Recipe will be down in the description section of this video. If you've never heard of these, hey, give them a try. If you have heard of them, is this how you make them, or do you make them a different way? Some people just love, the deep fryer. I don't. I don't want the extra grease and all slimy and everything. And then with a deep fryer, it's so hard to see if the sausage is all the way cooked, because if you cut this thing in half, you can't put it back in the deep fryer, right? All right, so leave your comments in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching. And if you do eat these, tell me what you eat these with. Because when I make them, it's just, the centerpiece of the meal. But I could think all kind of things that'd be really good with this. A breakfast, a lunch, a dinner. All right, so leave your comments in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching. And with those extra meatballs we had,
Meister 22, the most dangerous man on YouTube.